This is yet another step in the public process of crafting a final budget for adoption later this month. You're welcome to make comments at this hearing as they pertain to the introduced budget only. The Fiscal Committee has conducted 4 budget meetings, heard from all of our department heads in productive sessions that helped to shape the 2015 budget. Be advised that the board will have amendments to the introduced budget for consideration at tonight's regular meeting, which will be incorporated into the budget for adoption on May 28, 2015. However, pursuant to New Jersey State Statute 40A:4-9C, the amendments are such that an individual public hearing on the amendments is not necessary. Any comments on the amendments can be made during tonight's regular meeting during the regular comment period on resolutions. Again, it should be noted, the Freeholder Board is anticipating adopting the 2015 budget as amended during the regular meeting of May 28, 2015, subject to the Director of Local Government Services giving his approval, at which time public comment can also be made. The hearing is now open to the public for comment on the 2015 Union County budget as introduced on April 16, 2015. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Mr. Chairman's remarks are on the agenda.
Anyone have any comments on the budget?
I think that was one of his remarks. Yeah, John Berry, Kenilworth. Not really a comment, but I just have one thing I wanted to know about. In the tax levy cap, there's a $6.5 million item that I didn't see in any other county that's reducing the last year's prior amount. Where, I assume that's for Runnels, but I could be wrong. Where is that number derived from? Everything else I could pretty much figure out where it came from, but that 6.5 million just seemed to appear. What's the genesis of that number in there? That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Taylor, can you respond to that?
Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. Through you, Mr. Chair. On the levy cap calculation, the $6.6 million item that the prior speaker was referring to is indeed the levy cap adjustment. That's the cap-based adjustment that we had to take as a result of selling the long-term care facility at Runnels Hospital. That number is derived as a result of taking last year's revenue that was realized, coupled with the expenditures, the amount that was paid and charged against the Runnels appropriation, then subtracting it by the amount of revenue we anticipate this year, plus the budgeted amount for the psychiatric unit that we've retained. The difference between those last year appropriations and revenues and this year's revenue and appropriations gives us the cap-based adjustment of the $6.6 million, which we're required to take off of the amount that we anticipate raising taxes by.
Anyone else in the public have any comments?
Good evening, Acting Chair Bergen, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. I did look at the budget. I watched, thank you to the watchdogs, I did watch the fiscal affairs hearings. But anyway, I actually do have questions. No, I actually don't have questions. I'm just going to make it all comments. And as you know, I've been out there in the public talking about this $25 million that disappeared basically from the operating costs of Runnels and also the $8 million tax increase and the profit of Runnels, which totals about $25 million. And I'll tell you, I was looking at the budget, I'm saying, where does $25 million go? And I see it clear as day. You know, thanks to the law, where you have to delineate numbers on line items and such, it does come crystal clear. And to the public, I mean, you know, the question to the public is, why are these people hiding all this money? I mean, it basically is hidden. And I'm just going to go through each department. I'm just going to read the percentage increase of the department's budget, each department's budget, from last year to this year. And I'll, if I have additional time, I'll make additional comments. But I'm just going to read it. County Manager's Office, up 24%. Board of Chosen Freeholders, up 46%, and that's not including the 1.5 million county infrastructure improvement program, which, thank you very much. I mean, the Garwood is going to chase them. The clerk of the board's actually down 10%. Debt service, up 13%. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to cut 5%. 5% is the cutoff, so anything under 5% I'm not talking about. Division of Reimbursement, up 13%. Division of Comptroller, up 5.3%. Aid to Union County Improvement Authority, which is interesting because that actually went from $600 down to $400,000. So it's down 32%. And it definitely is interesting because the Union County Improvement Authority, as we've all been watching and the public's been watching, you know, there's a lot of shenanigans going on there. You're dropping the money. I actually suggested to Freeholder Jalo one year, you can roll it in to the county itself instead of having a separate authority and save this money anyway. So, Division of County Adjuster, up 13%. Division of Administrative Services, Office of Director, up 12%. Division of Purchasing, up 5%. County Surrogate, up 12%. Engineering, Land and Facilities Planning, up 112%. And this, I don't know what this, you know, but we did catch you guys sneaking a lot of political cronies from the Runnels employees to the engineering and planning division. So, you know, I would assume that's part of it. Division of Information Technologies, up 6%. Department of Economic Development, Office of Director, up 234%. A lot of that's other expenses, but just the wages alone, up 60%. I think that's the division where you created a brand new division for Vanwood Mayor Marr, who has no experience for it, but you created this brand new division for her. And also she's one of the county political bosses, so I mean, you know, all it is a patronage job. Department of Strategic Planning and Intergovernment, that's down 16%. That might be part of Marr's thing. Health waivers up 9%. What health waivers are is the opt-out if you're not taking health insurance. That's actually up from 1.7 to 1.8 million. And basically the reason is because you're not in the joint insurance fund, which would not only save you probably $5 million by switching to that, could save you this at least another $1.5 million. So there's a major cost savings there. Department of Public Safety, Office of Director, up 5%. Division of Weights and Measures, up 15%. Division of Emergency Management, up 24%. Emergency Medical Service, up 67%. Could be the additional squad that you created. The Division of Health, up 116%. Department of Corrections, down 2.4%. And this, I just want to point out, because Director Jordan, I'll tell you, he's an amazing guy. I really like him. He's doing wonders over there. He's actually staying on top of it and creating savings.
Mr. Patterson, thank you for your comments.
I still have more to go. Division of Public Works, up 29%. Division of Facilities Management, up 11%.
Please take a seat.
I'm in the middle of talking about the budget. I just want you guys to know the numbers.
We appreciate your comments. Thank you very much. Please take a seat.
Okay. I mean, I can always speak at the next meeting, of course, but I just want you to realize, okay, I'll wrap it up there. I'll wrap it up. I appreciate the latitude that you're giving. But see, if you notice, all of these are plus percentages. Somehow, all of you should understand that there's money being buried in there.
Please take your seat. You may comment again later.
Well, let me ask you, is anybody going to be speaking after me?
Please take your seat.
Who else in the public's here to
They
speak?
apply to everyone equally. Thank you.
Everyone equally. Okay, well,
Thank you. Thank you. Please sit
I hope you recognize what's going on here with the money.
Mr. Patterson, thank you. Please.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to comment on the budget as introduced?
Robert Heck from Union, New Jersey. I'd just like to know, according to the legal notice you published, the miscellaneous revenues decreased decreased by about $44 million.
Speak into the mic and makes it easier for us to hear you.
The miscellaneous revenues decreased by approximately $44 million, and the amount to be raised by taxation, which I assume is property taxes, increased by $8 million. Could somebody explain to me why one is going down and the one involving property taxes going up by $8 million?
Thank you. Ms. Taylor?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Just need to one sheet item.
Take your time.
The difference in the revenue that is referenced, if you look at sheet 9 on the budget document, it references local revenues in the amount of $50,000 from 2014 to 27 million, $50 million from last year to 27 million this year. Those pertain to specifically areas such as the Runnels Hospital. As I mentioned previously, the revenue in last year's budget decreased because we no longer maintain the long-term care facility. So just in the local revenue section A alone, we realized a reduction of revenue from 35 million for Runnels to 13 million this year for Runnels. The other areas include approximately $2.3 million for recreational facilities because we changed the method by which we operate the golf course from a management fee to now a concession for the catering facility. The other areas essentially are miscellaneous, dealing with some of our state revenues on Delaney Hall, as well as our what's the other item? Register of Deeds, realty transfer fees. The amount that we realized last year was a little less than what we originally budgeted. As a result, this year's revenue anticipation reflects what we realized last year. So those are some of the major broad categories that comprises the reduction of revenue in the local revenue section of the budget. When we get to the property taxes, the cap calculation captures all of the areas in which we are allowed to base our adjustments on. Again, the budget sheet references some of the areas of increases. We have capital improvements, debt service for a lot of the facilities that we've built, including some of our educational facilities. Those are all items that build into the cap adjustment, and as a result, that's how we are deriving our property taxes. It's important to note that this levy, we are within the cap for both the 1977 cap as well as the 2010 cap. By law, we have to comply with both, but we have to utilize the more restrictive of the two. So as a result, this year's budget is in accordance with state law under both 1977 cap and 2010.
If I might, have we seen a reduction in state aid from the prior budget to the current budget?
We have seen a reduction in what we classify as our Delaney Hall revenue, which is the revenue that we use to send some of our prisoners who qualify for drug rehab and placement in Newark, and that's through the state DOC. Other areas of reduction right now are a lot of our grants have been reduced. Throughout the year, we do modify the budget as we get award letters to anticipate that revenue as well as the appropriation. But what we've seen on a trend is that a lot of the federal and state grants have also been reduced throughout the year.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to comment? Going once? Seeing nobody else, I will formally close the public hearing. As a reminder, at this time, it appears that we will be hearing the adoption of the budget on our regular meeting of May 28, 2015. This time, I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
May I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, we're adjourned.